21st century's greatest discoveries are the secret societies of the past. Secret societies had the destinies of the humankind since so many years so far. They dominated the commons. They continue to foretell the future of the commons. It is just their goals that the commons do manifest without even an iota of doubt about following the instructions of someone else. These prime massive goals from the secret societies are kept hidden. Acherenza is one of the most important places in the history where the secret societies operated on undercover. It is in southern Italy where most of the secret societies' conspiracies were plotted with diligence. Basilicata is another town in the same place, and also many other towns were used by the eminent men and scholars of the past to arrive at some key decisions. Masonic activities and the practices were made here in the Potenza province. No written works have these mentioned in about the connections. It was not realized by any commons for a long time about the operations of the secret societies. Template Knight's secret societies operations began at Acherenza as per the recent findings. It is easy to find the clues of the very first of the secret societies in Lucania. Magna Grecian period. 500 BC is the Magna Grecian period. Esoteric school was opened by the famous mathematician Pythagoras at that point of time. The world knew Pythagoras even today for his contributions as a genius in the math. The formula that he found in math for the right-angle triangle forms the basis for too many mathematical wonderful derivations today. If that is the case, then the personality has to be trusted for his wits and intellectual abilities for certain. In this esoteric school, about 37 miles from the sea at Metapontum, members have to be sworn in first of all before getting trained. Superior humans to be created in the attempt with the objective of Pythagoras with that school. Half man and half god, or the demigods, were the objectives here for Pythagoras. He aspired to create those superhumans. Spiritual rituals were frequently done with the hope that they can accomplish their targets in time. Later, Pythagoras realized that his knowledge was not quite sufficient. He was in search for adapted spirits of serenity. It is to achieve the key objectives of the esoteric schools. It is how one can get the knowledge that is sufficient to become godlike. All the days in the esoteric schools had regular chanting, meditation, exercises, studies, planning, and the best of the nourishments. Scientific Society is one of the world's foremost fraternities that operated as secret societies. Yes, of course, there was a revolt against the cult. Metaponto people slaughtered the secret society's members of Pythagoras and Masonic groups. Secret societies and the objectives. It was not the aim of the secret societies to wage a war against the Muslims, actually. It is the different target that led to the outbreak of the Holy War that was in between 1088 and 1095 in the Common Era. The target was actually the Roman-controlled Christian Empire in Constantinople. They wanted to grab hold of the power, and that is the major reason for the war. Yet the common belief is such that the war was against the growth of the religion Islam. They had better control over the Muslims even by then, and that was not the actual threat. If not that, there are so many instances that can be quoted today as the secret society's plans and objectives that are behind the conspiracies. Illuminati letters to Italy indicate about the Third World War too that is purely wages against the Muslims in particular. Even the other two world wars were not a coincidence. It was all planned already. The reasons are best known to the secret societies, so anyone can expect another world war in the upcoming years sooner or later. With so many influences for the secret societies in the common man life, the power is most often used towards the aim of bringing in one anonymously accepted religion, and that is Christianity, to gain superpower in the world. Apart from this fact, there are so many other regions that had the secret societies in operation as well, like Mali. Bambaras of Mali. Center of Mali is where the Bambara ethnic society is located. For sustenance, they do cultivate lands. Agriculture used to be their prime occupation, and that balanced out the social and economic lifestyle standards to fulfill their needs and wants locally for so many years now. That is one of the prime strengths of their economy, apart from the so many other industries that are thriving today here in Mali in the modern days. The agricultural suitability of the soil here has facilitated them to do wonderful farming, and the yields are being sent to different other parts of the world. Cultivation of corn is the prime activity here for the farmers. Other cereals were also planted and cultivated conventionally here by the farmers' society. Smith and carving professionals are also there in Mali. They are respected more because they are beloved, be closer to the gods and the ancestors too. There were 6 secret societies for the Bambaras ethnic community. Flankuru Secret Society. It is these secret societies that exercise authority completely over all the life aspects of the commons. Kobo Society had the best of the influences though. Judicial powers are limited with the Kobo secret societies, and the Flankuru supervise the activities of the farmers in Mali. Ntomo's secret society is for the boys. Teaching aids for the secret societies are the artifacts. God of prophecy, or Apollo god, is the name of Pythagoras at that point of time by the local people. His corpse was missing or disappeared mystically. Why does anyone need a secret society? What are the secret societies, and how often anyone do come across the functionalities of the secret societies every now and then in the common life of our lone in the urban or rural areas that anyone do live in? Secret societies are too many out there that are not identified that easily by the common man or even by the special vigilance officials in any part of the world. There are special identification marks for the members of the secret societies. These identification marks are handy for the members to rightly 09 in the members in the neighborhood. Birds of the same feather have to flock together when it comes to secret societies' operations. That is the specialist about the operations of the secret societies. They can easily identify their people. They can easily identify the traits that are potentially complex and tough to handle. The signs are quite evident for them, thoroughly distinguish them from the commons. At the same time, there are events, concerts, and the meetings of the special kind that are taking place in the diverse parts of the world that are aimed at making the members recognize each other. That also facilitates the best communication possibilities amidst the members of the secret societies. What is the need of spying? There is no need to spy anything or anyone for that matter, all until anyone don't have any big objectives to bringing changes from the routine operations, unless and until anyone are not targeting something positive or big or personal, anyone don't have to spy on anything or anyone. The reality is that there are hundreds and hundreds of people who are influential enough in the society, but they want to take control of the live aspects of the common people for one reason or the other. They want to make sure that there are not any wrong things happening because of the lack of supervision. It is this curiosity to change the world, or gain authority, or to dominate, or to rectify that has brought in tremendous changes in the society, as it was mentioned, citing instance in the history since so many years before the Common Era. Yes, the secret societies were in operations even before the Pythagoras period. Proofs are what that wanted though. Discoveries are made us recently to prove a point in this perspective. The spies were brought to light. Yet, most of the spies were dead already, but the groups are active all until now. Newer groups and newer secret societies have come up in the recent times. How they do communicate with the codes and secret languages. There are so many secret societies that are operating for both good and bad causes. There are so many secret societies that are operating globally. It is this sheer action that keeps them alive. They are dutiful and sincere to what they are doing, and they are getting more and more members under their downline. They are able to do so easily both by pressure and by money power. There are not any codes and ethics be what they are supposed to bring in new members. It is not the case with all the secret societies, though. There are quite some that are running ethically, but at the same time to fulfill their noble objectives. People behind the political unrests. 2013 GUSA executive race dominated the media coverage with the secret society's actions. Immigrants came in as workers to Richmond City in USA. Labor groups, military services and the college groups reportedly had more than 15,000 members from different secret societies here in Redmond City alone for the innate benefits that come through the demographical advantage here. Shady deals for secret societies. They are part of the commons, but also members of the big secret organizations at the same time. Anyone cannot figure out who belongs to which group that easily. Ranking 16th by population in the whole of the Washington state, Redmond inhabitants approximately 55,000 people as per the census records of 2011. Famous Lake Sammamish is towards 20 miles south of the Redmond city. There is clear-cut emphasis made by the local state governmental bodies on environmental protection measures and the quality development programs as well. There are more than 31 parks that are completely developed and 14 parks in the underdeveloped state here. There are developed trains to the span of about 29 miles. All the recreation programs here are aimed at providing best learning and socializing as well as best environmental study opportunities for the young kids. Altogether, a very active cultural scenario here is completely welcoming sign. In every park, anyone can see centers of activity for all the age group. Staying fit is made easier for all the age groups as there are a whole lot of outdoor events and activities that keep anyone entertained all throughout the year. It is easy to find a home to do the Secret Service's operations here. Land costs in the city have dramatically increased in the recent years. Number of houses for sale has also increased in the past year. It means the chances for investments are quite higher now. In addition, anyone is to invest in one of the best places where there can be only appreciated in rates in the upcoming years for the properties that anyone purchase. There has never been a single % decline in the trend since so many years now, despite the recession in the economy for so many years. If anyone chooses to invest your money in buying any of the properties here in Redmond, then it can be the best time right now where anyone has plenty of attractive deals to be on the run. Secret society links and meetings for promotions. When there are best meeting hideouts and places with lesser security vigilance, then that is ideal option for many secret societies to target the locality. There are affordable living places to rent or own. Single-bedroom homes are being sold at the rate of about $190,000 approximately. Prices may vary depending upon the exact area where anyone chooses to buy the property and the nearby facilities. Some prominent landmarks are found to be a bit costlier compared to the remote locations. Still, the price for a middle-class family home with a couple of bedrooms can just only be about $500,000 approximately. Hideouts of the secret societies are mostly the garages and the old warehouses and the abandoned homes in the interiors. That kept their activities top private and confidential too. Additional facilities available in the homes will vary from one deal to that of the other. Valuable additions will make a perfect deal for the right price from the buyer's perspective. Anyone can see a whole lot of that kind at present here. Even the 3-bedroom houses will just cost anyone only about $250,000 approximately. Trend recently here is the significant raise in the value for the investments made in property deals towards the southern coast in particular. Make use of the chance to make some quick bucks in the next couple of years by choosing to invest in some of the properties here in Redmond. It is a smart move to do so. History and background of Redmond City's secret societies. Oath-bound men in millions were in operations here. Military branches give orders then and there. Most of them are offered training in the military tactics. They had the sword and the musket guiding manuals. War of rebellions increased the number of sleeper cells in the society too. Redmond sits exactly in the fertile bases that were created by the ancient glaciers covering the King County once upon a time. When very first fur trappers did enter the dense jungle through the valley of Lake Sammamish, they got enough shelter there and good food as well, and became the native inhabitants soon. Freshwater salmon was the biggest food source through the Lake Sammamish. In fact, the name of the settlement was termed as Salmonburg. After that, in 1871, loggers entered into the area over a period. These new entrants made singer mills and lumber mills. Substantial payroll over there created fresh demand for the products and services in the year 1892. Eastern Railway Circuit later on paved way for the huge recognition and timber business growth here. One among the commons. It is not easy to identify the members of the secret societies in the hustles and bustles of the urban life here in the city. During those logging heydays, the city made very merry with so many hotels, saloons, stagecoach offices, blacksmiths and eateries. A community of about 300 inhabitants later in the year 1912 kept the demand for modern waterworks facilities in the area. Soon, so many buildings rose, especially in the prime downtown areas. Usage of cars increased in the main streets. First schools and first doctors' healthcare centre opened up soon. By the end of 1920, most of the virgin forest's resources started to deplete. The local logging business was thriving just because of the forests earlier. Soon the people of Redmond moved on to other sources like agriculture and trading to lift their economical standards. Many dairy farms and chicken farms started to abound. Population grew marginally by that time. After the completion of the floating bridge construction, vigorous active residential developments came in. Commercial growth followed in turn. Number of service industries and the high-tech industries started to grow over a period as well. By around 1970, the economy improved by far. As of now, it is one of the huge growing economical bases in the whole of the Americas. With such rich historical and cultural background, obviously Richmond is to attract the attention of the others from the rest of the Americas. Current active societies in Redmond. Illuminati remains are still active in many parts of the world, and so is the case with Redmond too. As of now, the growing economy is just because of one essential reason that the community houses some of the top tier firms in the USA, such as the Microsoft, Honeywell and Nintendo, and so on. General Dynamics and Airborne Electronic Systems, Accenture Emergency Response Systems and many more firms are here in Redmond. Genie industries are once something that is to be mentioned on top priority from that perspective. Very strong retail sector trading is enhanced by the Redmond Town Centre. One open-air mixed-uses group features about 111 stores, 20 restaurants, a hotel and 610,000 square feet for commercial office spacing. As Redmond continues to emerge and evolve into a thriving cosmopolitan city of maximizing diversity, community programs are on the increasing note. These programs are specially designed to boast and celebrate its own rich heritage with pride. Preserving its own historical and natural resources of treasure is the prime objective behind the community programs as of now. There are more than 53 schools that anyone sees here, with about 25,000 students studying in these schools from the Lake Washington district alone. Community out here is mostly upper middle class that is technology driven. Children can be given a best set of ambience to grow well. Training through entertainment, recreation and fitness activities. Fitness is a prime need for the members of the War of Rebellion. They were trained with military tactics. They are given manuals for practices regularly. City parks are ideal spots for recreation and to conduct so many other cultural activities. The Redmond city offers the citizens and even the visitors the best opportunity to recreate and participate in the best fitness campaigns, health and arts-related activities too. There are special programs conducted to facilitate interactive systems in the parks in special. There are so many open spaces, facilities and trials out there. Coding and symbol linguistics. Sometimes the messages are so open in the communication for the fellow members of the secret societies, but no one understands what it is for. The open messages are rightly understood by the members, though in the public places. Signboards are used for this purpose too. To convey the meeting venues and dates, public hoardings are used obviously, but no one gets to recognize that. Over 17 miles of well-developed trails is one of the biggest assets for the locals in the city. There are 21 conditioned parks here. People of all the age group has one or the other kind of activity to participate in. Arts and entertainment events as well as the recreation programs will be inclusive of the following: riding schools, fitness program, opportunities to volunteers for security and safety, youth enrichment programs, sports leagues in different tournaments and many more. Registrations are done online to participate in any of the events. Soccer and basketball are the most passionate games that have a huge fan space here amidst the locals in special. Apart from all of the above mentioned, anyone have plenty of entertainments of the amusing kind otherwise too. These are movie theatres, amusement parks, museums and much more. Local attractions out there in the Redmond city have pulled in the attention of visitors from everywhere tremendously. Anyone cannot identify the members. There are so many immigrants and visitors. Some area members from foreign places for the foreign secret societies in operations too. Tourists flurry in all throughout the years just because of the great bunch of hotels, resorts and spa facilities available in the city. Massage parlours, salons and spas of all standards are available. Economical hotels and luxury facilities are also available for the visiting tourists, who are most often businessmen coming in from different parts of the country as well as overseas countries like Europe and China in special. Secret societies are not needed for international affairs or socio-economic developments. Objective of secret societies are sometimes treasures and artifacts too. Metal sculptures of the Renaissance period are something that is world famous all until today. These shapes and figures depict the rich heritage and culture of the civilizations of the past, especially the ones from the Greek culture. Egyptian metal sculptures, the Gothic artwork, the Japanese art are indigenous. There is a lot of innate meaning transferred to the viewer's mind through these metal sculptures of the modern kind. The substance is immense in the modern-day art. They are quite innovative and creative in illustrating traits of life, meaning of the society, and so on. The Ajanta arts of the South Asian style are world famous for their immaculate style and attraction. Metal sculptures are of variety types. Depending upon the type of material upon which these sculptures are made, they are divided into a variety of categories. Some of them are huge enough to be kept in the museums and in the entrance of the huge buildings for the sake of attraction. Some of them are pure artwork with enough messages in their presence to make the viewers remember those meaning always by the time they pass through it. The concept is quite similar to that of the Chinese symbols. The Chinese tradition believes in good luck that is created out of the positivity. Cool vibrations around anyone bring anyone good things. The converse ideology is also quite true according to many of the Chinese theories. They strongly believe that some of the symbols of dragon, bamboo, etc. have a lot of meaning behind them. When it happens for one to be seeing these symbols, often it brings in natural good vibrations in the minds of the individuals. Silver state of mind is some interesting concept that has a lot of findings about the brain's capability and extreme powers. How often the meetings are conducted. Secret societies seize artifacts from the developing nations too. The ideology behind these symbols is to trigger the action of the brain's movement in the right trajectory instead of being filled with chaotic thoughts to go wayward. It is this concept which is being believed by a majority of the expert minds in the world, and even scientists and researchers partially do agree to most of these facts. Metal sculptures do serve a similar purpose as well. Apart from just instilling positivity in the minds of the individuals that view them, the metal sculptures do have messages and meaning to be conveyed as well. Bronze or steel metal sculptures are mostly famous all over the world. Some of them are particularly meant for the gardens of the villas, for attraction and beauty. While buying and erecting a sculpture in your house or commercial spaces is not that challenging task, the maintenance of these metal sculptures that are kept in the open spaces are not that easier though. There is a lot to be done to make them look as elegant as possible all the time over the years. Polishing the metal sculptures and renovating their beauty would bring back the lost luster in them to a certain extent. Still, keeping them away from the abrasive action of water, chemical, wind and sunlight would increase the longevity by far. Elpa in Nigeria. Elpa is a Nigerian secret society. Dead ancestors and the live humans are connected through spirits by men belonging to the Elpa group. It is happening in such a way that no one comes to know about the intricate inside facts. It is a prime tourist location of Africa. African safari is a great idea to relieve your stress gathered out of monotonous or stereotyped mechanical urban life. Mingle with the jungle to get rid of the mental pressure. Blend with the nature to experience the unknown pleasure to the satisfaction of the soul. Yes, there are certain parts of Africa that are of exotic natural beauty that pull in huge amount of tourists on a regular basis to these splendid destinations. Moreover, there will be a passion for witnessing the wide range of flora and fauna for most children as well as the adults too. Only men in Elpa. Women are not allowed to be part of the Elpa secret society. Connecting with the dead ancestors is done by experienced and trained male members of Elpa. There are more than 12 cults in Africa and secret societies too. Major ones belong to Nigeria. Tourism is prime industry here. African safari is the best idea to view all those wonderful wildlife that anyone has ever witnessed in your life. It could be a wonderful memory to be preserved in your thoughts forever. There are multiple destinations that are quite interesting and inevitable to be listed in your tour for the Africans. Still, it is hard to prepare for such a lengthy tour for a single vacation covering all the prominent sports of the locality. It is better to get it charted out properly on what were the most interesting aspirations of your family members. List of the locations in the first place. Some of Arabians visit Nigeria to get solutions to their personal problems. These visitors enjoy their stay here and get their job done too. African safari could be made far more interesting and joyous tour when anyone have planned it quite effective ways. Where to look for the animals of your taste could be the first question. Based on that, anyone should choose the locations to travel. Zambia is famous for certain wild animals in essential. Similarly, the Tanzania and so on. Find out your kind of listing that would be ideally suitable for your tastes and enjoyment. Secret societies are just hypothetical threats, says a quite few, but that is not true. Visit Nigeria and anyone will get to know more facts. Arrange for anyone visas and vaccinations as well right before you travel to the African safari. Yellow fever as well as diphtheria vaccinations are advisable. Still, a proper check with a physician would be the ideal choice well before anyone even applies for the visa. Single entry visas are acceptable by most of the countries out there. Still, it is better to get things clarified from the embassies clearly before anyone leaves to the particular area. The costs for the Kenyan visa fees are just about $50 at the most. Are there good secret societies? In this part of the world, Africa, there are not too many, though. Operations of the big organizations like the WHO or the UN or the ILO are not always direct. There are so many secret societies under these big organizations that are working for some noble causes. These delegates are sure to travel to far and wide places. They foresee the potential to work there. If there are illegal proceedings anywhere in private or the public groups, then the needful groundwork is done there. Negotiations were then made by the top officials involved in the affair to bring in valuable changes to the betterment of the society in that part of the world. Corruptions that are happening in the higher levels between governments and corporate are identified then and there with the help of these secret societies. Globalization is something very important for the so many developments that have come in today. Yet the globalization operations and the related corrupted ventures are too many that are not taken into due consideration towards bringing in betterment in those societies. Such places are watched out for details by the secret societies. The operations that are not ethical are identified by the officials of the secret societies. The amount of corruption and the related details are filled and sent to the top management of the secret societies. These evidences are collated and effective further moves are taken so as to bring in valuable changes in the upcoming months or years, only based on the agreement of the parties involved in the process. It is not the case to charge them legally for their mistakes, like the courts of law. Here, negotiations are made at higher levels secretly towards the betterment of the commons. If the right solutions are not arrived, then the problem is escalated further to the right authorities. Then the reactions are complex. Good or bad results can happen only based on the influences of the particular group in the local social setup. Most of the time, they can be so elusive in their operations that they can come out even without a hitch of the complexities. That is also one another reason why the secret societies are trying to negotiate and arrive at better deals without wasting time, money, and the efforts of either groups involved in the process. What are bad secret societies? Just like any other organization, the secret societies are also of various types. If anyone are not going to deal with the good ones, then surely anyone are not in the best of the organizations to be boasted about the services. At the same time, there are good agencies that are working for noble causes too. First, listen to what the leaders have to say before anyone join any of the secret societies. What is the motivation of the secret societies and how do they operate? What are all the risks involved in being one and what is the remuneration for the members in taking such risks? When anyone is analyzing the pros and cons, then anyone are sure to get the best of the job done. Some of the secret societies are paying their members some above par packages. Yet there are risks involved in the affair too. Secret societies have to maintain the confidentiality all the while. If the member fails to meet this prime requirement, then that is his or her risk. Some of the bad secret societies have the worst of the punishments that are lethal. Some others are lenient to just disown the members once for all. What are the banned secret societies? Every country has their own list of secret societies. If the purpose of running these secret societies is not acceptable, then these types of secret societies are banned by the government. The very moments the government officials come to know about the operations of the secret societies that are not ethical or illegal, then these secret societies are curbed readily. Investigations of the special kind are done to seize the gateways and curb the secret societies of such kind once for all. There were so many such secret societies that are banned in the past in UK and USA alone. How good are the secret societies' members to help the public? That depends upon the right type of secret societies that are reserving their numbers. If the operations are genuine enough and it is for a noble cause, then there are a lot of anticipations from the members towards the benefits of the commons. Yet, how far it is possible and how successful these type of secret societies are is all something that needs explanation. That needs extensive amount of research and study to identify these facts as they are secret societies. As the name goes to show, the operations are all undercover. There are no evidences that can be tracked down easily. The members are highly trained to perform their operation in such a style that no one will be able to track down the operations so easily. Smelling the members of the secret societies is not easy for the novice in the spying business. Vigilance people have to do extensive amount of research and study to rightly identify the details and whereabouts of the secret societies. Some of them are terrorists too. Funding the secret societies. Terrorists are easily able to migrate from one country to the other. Terrorists are able to get enough funds for their attacks in one way or the other. How is it all possible for the people who are not doing any type of job regularly? Who funds them, and how do they fund them regularly without any hesitation, and what drives them to throw away money just like that at will? When the rich millionaires and the filthy rich people are part and parcel of any developing and developed nations of the world, the rebels are not going to find any type of difficulty in rightly identify these resourceful people to get what they want. They are not bothered about money, as money is just easy to cash in with the type of resources that they have in hand readily. They are ready to do anything for their needs and wants. That itself is a big threat to the society. So to make money, they attack a few places and get their job fulfilled in no time. They are not easily tracked down too, as they have got rich contacts and connections to convert the money or gold or any country cash into what they want and how they want. This is the reason why they are having so many members across the world. This is the major reason why they are using their resources and manpower to fulfill their ultimate best goals. Funding is continuous too, as there are people who work under their financial department exclusively to take care of the liquidity and cash flow for their own organization. At the same time, without being the secret societies, they would not be able to accomplish such tasks with ease. It is the sheer assistance that they do get in time from the members of the secret societies that helps them to achieve the goals in time. Cooperation is the key, yet the cooperation is coming in actively from all the members of the organization in time. For that, they are being offered special training. For that, they are also listening to motivational videos and audio tapes regularly as a mandatory need to stay tuned with the latest updates in the organization. All these communications do happen in their own coded languages. Others who listen to these tapes may not even be able to translate or interpret the real meaning of these coded languages. Sacrifices are made by the secret societies too. It could be in the loss of resources, manpower, and so on. Yet nothing is known to the common man. With the advent of the technology today, it is so hard to keep secrets even for the secret societies. The functionalities of the secret societies became far more difficult than it used to be before. Technical expertise becomes a pivotal need to be part of the operations of the secret societies. Moreover, to be running the secret societies and to lead the secret societies, enough technical resources are essential today. That is how confidentiality is maintained on the long run. Qualified professionals are essential to fulfill the objectives. Pros and the experts have to be persuaded and convinced in many ways so as to deal with the projects that are undercover. That is not easy though. Plundering assets, artifacts, resources, oil, power, fuel, energy, and many other reasons were there for the secret societies to run actively. Their objectives are not expressed in the form of any type of materials though. For that, regular meetings are pivotal to communicate without evidences. Members are selected with care and attention for these reasons. There are members who do operate from continent to continent for the secret societies too.